Alternative Voice. My guest on today's show is going to be a very, let me say, resilient person. His name is Matthew Nyamlori. Matthew, welcome to the show. This is the Alternative Voice,
Thank you.
and I'm your host today. My name is Effie Otieno. How are you?
I'm fine.
How
I'm
is
fine.
everything around you?
Everything's okay.
Okay, I'm glad you are. Welcome to the Alternative Voice. You're
Yes.
here basically because we would love to get to know more about you and about your story. Personally, I think I know a bit about it, and that is because we have talked about it a few times. But I would love for you to tell our viewers who is Matthew Nyamlori.
Okay. Matthew Nyamlori is, as you have said, is a resilient person. I like introducing myself as a serial KCP taker, a person who
Okay,
sat for KCP 9 times, who sat
okay.
in school from nursery to university for 33 good years and graduated at the age of 38. So that is me, Matthew Aol Nyamlori.
33 years.
And spending 22 years in primary school.
Okay, so the 844 it's like 2244 for you.
Yeah, yes, definitely. It's like that.
And anyone would be curious to ask, and I'm curious as well. Why 22 years?
The problem is was fee. Yes, I was born in a poor background, and no one. My parents were not able to pay for me school fee. Like my first attempt, it was in late 90s, and I scored 498. I was admitted to Kabiang High School. I couldn't join. I was called to Kavianga. I couldn't even go to Kavianga due to lack of fee. So that was the problem. So it reoccurred like 8 times. And then the ninth time is when Equity Wings to Fly offered me scholarship. So
Okay.
that is, mm,
So if you don't mind, would you like give us a breakdown of the 9 times that you're talking about? The first one was Kabianga, and then the next one was
okay. My village is Nyakach. I come from Nyakach sub county in Kisumu County, but my parents
okay.
moved to Bomet County. They were there because they used to work there as casual labor. So my first attempt, I wrote my first KCP in 1998 at a school known as Kipsimbol Primary School. Those days in 1998, I scored 498 and I was called to join Kabiang High School. In 1999, I moved to Rongo. Rongo, I
Okay.
repeated at Rongo. I scored 505 out of 700. It was
Okay.
700. I was called to join Kanga. I joined Kanga under the mercies of one of my distant relatives. She paid for the first from one, then from two she dropped because she had squabble crisis with the family members. So
Okay.
I had to drop out of Kanga. That one was 2001, second term, June there. Then I started now working on Mujengo for survival, surviving at Rongo, living in Tata, sometimes residing in someone's bathroom outside the compound. And in 2002, I opted to go back to primary. That was my third attempt now. I scored 387 at Ketere Primary School around Kanga, and I was admitted to Rapogi's high school. In 2004 and 3, I went to Sony Sugar Primary in Awendo. That was my fourth attempt. I scored 399, was admitted to Rapogi. I was called to Rapogi. I didn't go to Rapogi. All this round, I was surviving on my own, doing Mujengo over the weekend to get some 200 to survive with that 200 in the whole week, in the course of the week. Sometime I moved inside the sugarcane. I keep sugarcane to get some energy for survival.
Okay,
2004,
I
my
have a
fifth attempt,
question.
I went to Rangwe Junior Academy, that one I was put in a boarding. I scored 434. I was admitted to Maseno. I joined Maseno in second term. You had a question?
Yes, I had a question, but you can continue. I'll save it for later.
Yeah. Yes, in 2005 I joined Maseno. I joined Maseno second term. I went to Maseno school from 1, from 2. I dropped out of Maseno into from 2, second term. That is around June.
Yeah.
I moved. I know all this time I used to move to knock several doors. I used to go to my MPs. I used to go to the churches. I used to go to those people who are blessed with something. So if they can
Okay.
secure me chances. Also, beside that, before repeating, I used also to go to talk to head teachers in day school if they could allow me learn in their school, but no one was willing. In 2006, I dropped. I came to Nairobi. Now I was doing Mujengo in Nairobi. I was staying in Madare Valley and I was trekking all the way to industrial area, to Eastland, to look for where I can get some work to do. If I missed doing the work, I could move to Uhuru Park. I rest there until evening. I walk all the way to Madare Valley. 2007, from 1989, joining nursery school, it was only 2007 when I was not in school. That was the only year I never stepped in school. I was still doing Mujengo. And I realized that this thing cannot help me. You are doing Mujengo, and at the end of the month, you have saved nothing, you have nothing, you have bought nothing, you
Yeah.
still support the hardship continue. 2008, I decided to go back to Agorosare Primary. I sat for KCP again, and I scored 394. I was admitted to Maranda. I was called to Maranda. In 2009, I met a pastor who told me to go to his school in Ndulele. Ndulele is in Narok North. I
Okay.
sat for KCP. I scored 400. I was admitted to Kapsabet. I didn't go to Kapsabet. In 2009, I went to Agape Junior Academy in Kosele. That was my 8th attempt. I scored 4-1. I was called to Maranda. Last but not least, I went to Oriri. Oriri is in Ringa. Ringa is in Homa Bay County.
Yeah.
That was my final attempt, the 9th attempt. Write my KCP. No, I wrote my KCP and I scored 4-3. I was admitted to Nairobi School. That was the turning point, and that is when Equity Bank came to my rescue. And I
Okay, just
was
to cut you there, Matthew. All this period, what was the active role of your parents in this, if I may ask?
First of all, I was the 9th born.
Okay, can you tell us a bit about that?
I was the 9th born in the family of 13, and I had told you that we were living in abject poverty. And you know, our
Okay.
house was burned in the year 1992 during the introduction of multipartyism because we were Luos living in Kipsigis land, and Moi was in
Okay.
Kanu. Odinga introduced multipartyism. So we also suffered that multipartyism things. We had nothing, and my parents had nothing to offer because even getting the daily meal was next to impossible.
Okay. I'm very sorry about that.
Out of 13 kids, only 3 managed to join secondary. That is my brother who went to Stare, me through the support of Wings to Fly Quichi, and my brother who is following me who also went to a day school through the masses of a certain local church at home. Only 3 out of 13.
Okay. And all this while you had the urge to continue going for it, to continue pushing despite poverty, despite shortcomings here and there, and it wasn't like just a single attempt, it happened several. What kept you going, Matthew?
The poverty in my home was my motivating factor. You know, whenever I was doing manual job, I was doing the job. Most of them were graduates and people who have gone to Kenya Science, people who have done something. Yani wenye wamepitia taaluma mbalimbali, you see, for them to establish something such that they can employ something, at least you must have education for you at least to make a living. So the people, most of the people I was doing Mujengo to, most of the people I was going to weed their farms are the people who have gone to school and are the people who have attained something out of school. So that one also
Okay.
was my motivating factor. So the most thing which was motivating me is the poverty in my place. I'm telling you that we were living in a very terrible grass thatch house. In case when it rains, you just look on where to stand for you not to be rain on. It was very terrible. So for me also to change the face of my family, I knew it was education. Education was the only way to help me out of that. Yes, that was my
Okay, thank
motivating.
you. Thank you for answering that. Another question. Being that you're the ninth born in a family of 13, how about the other eight that were there before you? What did they think about you doing this over and over and over? Yet maybe according to them, they were just okay. What did they think about it?
What you have to know, a person who is struggling to make a living will not have time to think about you. That is a
Okay.
lie. A person who is struggling to make her or his living will never think about the brother or the sibling who is surviving somewhere. No, no one will care. That is what you have to know. Nobody cares about me, and nobody, because them, they dropped out of school and no one was there to take them even to village polytechnic to get some skills. No one was there to take them to this other work through apprenticeship to get some skill for to earn their living. They were there doing their manual work. If you want to join them, go and join them. If you want to go to school, go on your way and look for schooling. That was it.
So they had almost no influence to your decisions and to your journey.
They had almost no influence to my decision, to my journey, and I hardly met them because everybody was out. Some were here in Nakuru, some were in Ban Forest, those sides of Cheptiret, Eldoret.
Yeah.
Some were in Molo, Kiringet, some were in Rift Valley, some were in Kisii, some were at home. So they had no decision to me. And I had to make decision to change my life because I'm the captain of my life. I could not bang on somebody else to come and help me because your
Yeah.
parents who are indebted to support you are not capable of supporting you. The only thing is to go extra mile to do something which will make you earn your living alone because they could not even support the first born, second born, after the eighth born. What about me? And when I was being born, there are already old people. They were already big people.
Oh yeah, I get your answer. And that leads me to my next question. There were times when after the results were out, there was effort that pushed you to get into high school. Hadi, you are the point where you are a few terms into high school. And then now after you've come out of high school, what still kept you pushing? Because personally, if let me say from my personal experience, if one gets into high school and then it becomes tough, because if you've already tested the waters there, you'd also know high school itself is tough.
Mm.
Sasa kutoka tena and then going back into it again, what did you think about that?
What I was thinking about this, for you to get something good, you have to sweat and you have to go through bitter things for something good
I
to come.
agree.
Not unless you are a thief or you are a con man. So for you to get into something good in life, you have to accept and go through hardship. Me, I had a mentality of that 4 years is not something big. Imagine you in life, that is assuming that you are in life imprisonment, because like poverty is like a prison because there's nothing you can do. Assuming that you are in life in prison, you have been sent to prison for life imprisonment, and the presidential decree has been passed that in the next 4 years you will be out of that prison. You will be happy and you will be working towards to get to that 4 years to move out of that kind of life you were in. So that was my assumption. You see, for somebody or for something, even currently, when somebody is initiating, an entrepreneur is initiating some business, many people will discourage you, many things will discourage you, and you keep moving. Later on, when you have achieved your dream, you will start celebrating, and those even people who were discouraging you will be there to celebrate with you. So I couldn't even give listening to the people who were humiliating me, people who were talking ill about me, people who were abusing me, spitting on me, or doing what to me. My objective was to get my quality education and to live my life, because it was my life. I still say that you are the captain of your life. It is your decision.
Yeah.
It is your decision to decide the direction your life will take. I decided let my direction take the education line, because even I tried doing manual work and going to people if they can support me, even join polytechnic. No one was willing. No one was willing. Even getting daily meal, even somebody to giving you tea, 1 cup of tea to take for free, nobody was willing. That is the kind of society I was interacting with.
Okay, okay. Thank you for your response. I have another question for you, Matthew. How did you handle the age difference? Because primarily, if you're supposed to be joining from one, it usually happens between the age of 14 to 17, let's say the farthest. How did you handle the age difference considering that your peers at the moment at school? How did you handle it?
I handled it very well, because you see, my peers are doing well. They have able relatives, able parents. They take breakfast. Unlike me, when a person who could even, when you take a breakfast, that was a good luck for you. It is
Yeah.
you going to work for yourself. So I couldn't benchmark with my peers. I couldn't benchmark with other people. It was me, and it was me. You laugh at me, you abuse me, that is yours. Whatever, my objective is to get my education. And besides that, I used to perform very well. I was scoring over 400, 450, 400 in the internal exams, you see. So the people, you are in
Yeah.
a class with somebody scoring 300 and you have scored 440. Do you think this person will have time to humiliate you? No. The people who are
No, they
humiliating me
don't.
were the border riders and the people who are outside who never, you who didn't even know whatever I was passing through. Yeah, those were the people who were happy and celebrating, abusing me left and right. But the student
That's
age difference, I could handle it well, because if your sister or if your cousin is doing well, the father is doing well, feel the relief. Your mom and your dad is down and you are down yourself. Will you compare yourself with her? Because he's doing well.
no,
Already her
no, you
path is
won't.
taken, but your path is still bad. You look for the way to remove this stumbling block, preventing you to reach their level. Don't think and benchmark
I
with
understand.
them. Hmm.
Okay, thank you for your response. And that brings me to our next question. If your classmates, since of course you are beating them, they had nothing to say because you are of course brighter than them. How about the teachers? Since you've said the border riders were the ones who are saying negative stuff, but you are over that. How about your teachers there and then?
I had a problem with mostly the BOM teachers. You know, some of the teachers who were teaching in those school I was going there, I was older than them, because you see
Yeah,
somebody had a smooth path. You go to class 8, you go to a secondary school, you scored a C plus or C, you go to Asumbi Teachers College, you are employed as BM in a primary school to teach. You will not know that this person sat for KCP long time ago and has been receiving national school letter. It is only that the fee. I had a problem with them, but I could not confront them even if they do something wrong. I had also protection. I was immune over their problem with the head teacher. The head teacher used to be my best friend, and other older teachers had handled such cases. They are there in the society. You will get somebody who is for you and somebody is against you. The only thing to weigh is not to give them listening or not to give them time. They abuse you or they do something negative. Some even could even undermark my papers in India and composition. I didn't care. I could not, I could not even talk about it because I knew coming to KCP, the person who is going to mark is independent person who is not even against me, who doesn't know even where am I or even my age, whatever. That was it. I could go
Oh,
through that
thank you.
problem and I knew how to handle it very well.
Okay, thank you for responding to that. It's actually quite unfortunate. You know, learning itself is really hard, and then getting your papers undermarked. I can only imagine. I'm sorry for that. And that brings me to my next segment. Would you like to take us through the next 4 years at Nairobi School, that is after the 22 years in primary school?
Yes, Nairobi School. I got very cooperative teachers. Nairobi School is, I think, it is one of the best established school with the best program so far. Because when I reported to Nairobi School, I think somebody, I don't know if it is Equity Group or what, who had informed them about my story. I went there and already they knew my name, even without telling them whom am I. And they really ushered me in. I was admitted, and in fact, I was a prefect from Form 1 to Form 4, and I was helping them manage the program very well. They also, the teachers, we had mothers who were in charge of guiding and counseling, mothers who were in the
Yeah.
Department of Kiswahili and Humanities. You know, they had motherly respect, and they could call me my son and they support me when there is during parents meeting. If there is nobody who has come for me, they call me and they give me some KFC. I was at home. Nairobi School was home, was like my home, because it was the best place so far. Even going to holiday, even if I could be told to remain, I could remain, because there I got very cooperative teachers. It was the best school so far to study. I had no problem in Nairobi. It is only that what affected me, my mother lost sight when I was in Form 3. That was the year 2013, and she became completely blind. It affected me a bit, but I knew how to manage it.
Okay, that brings me to my next question. I'm sorry for the loss of sight. That brings me to my next question, which is, now that you're here at Nairobi School, and you did so through a scholarship that was going so well.
Mm.
How are your parents handling things back at home? Our son is in Nairobi School. He's doing his high school. How are your parents handling that?
Do you know what I didn't tell you? That what I didn't tell you is that my parents were not in charge of anything of me right after the second KCP. After dropping out of Kanga, I kept everybody out of my academic journey. If I have something, I take sugar and everything at home, I'll take and give you. But my life, no, it was me to look for it. Even when I was in Nairobi School, yes, I went home and applied for the national identity card and handed over the letter, equity letter for the guidance to them. They knew that I was in Nairobi School, but in Nairobi School, I was supporting them. The shopping hampers, I used to divide and take them at home, and no
Okay.
one was taking charge at all, because what could they have followed? And yet I know I'm the one to help them. They are not the one to help me. So it was me to support them. It was me to look for them. It was not them to look after me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding to that. My next question is the 4 years at Nairobi School, uh, zilienda zikaisha, right?
Hmm.
Now, tell me about life after Nairobi School.
I sat my KCSE in 2015 and I scored B plus, and I was admitted to Kenyatta University to pursue Bachelor of Public Policy and Administration. Before joining Kenyatta, I handled some businesses like charcoal businesses. I was picking charcoal from Kilgoris and selling in Etoyugis, and I use that even to connect electricity to my place. I think in my village, I'm one of the people who connected electricity after struggling for a long time, and most of the village are looped the power from our home. I tried to change the face of my family before reporting to Kenyatta University. So now
Okay.
you can see the importance of going to school. You can make everything an opportunity and do something good out of it.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you because basically it's like you're thinking of yourself, but you're also thinking of the people that are behind you, that is your parents. And I think your parents are very proud of you, Matthew. And I have a final question for you. You did all this for education. You spent over 30 years in the 844 system. Do you really think education is the key? Now that you're seated there right now, do you think it's the answer for you?
Exactly. I think it is the answer. I'm not regretting doing that. And I'll never regret
Yeah.
doing that because currently I can interact with anybody in the face of the world. Hey, somebody can send an article for me or even a research for me. I do that research very well. I write for him research very well. He sent me some rent. You see, I am not depending on
Yeah.
anyone, and people are depending on me. If not for education, would I have known how to write this thing? I'm doing this thing
Yeah.
article. I'm doing this thing because of education. Getting quality education is very good. You can hardly I can say you can hardly go broke, and you can hardly think of any negative thing to do in life, because when you are broke today, in the next 2 days you have gotten somebody to do some article, or somebody to do some research, or somebody to do something for them, because they even trust you. You have interacted with so many people, and that is a market. Interaction brings market. When I start a certain project now, that I've been to Nairobi school, I went to Masena, I went to Kanga, I have linked to those my classmates, and in the university, Kenyatta University, I'll get market. I'll get ready market because of that interactive nature I had. And my reasoning and how I interact with people also different. Education changed it.
Yeah, it does. I agree with you. Okay, Matthew. Now can you take us briefly through your journey at Kenyatta University?
I joined Kenyatta University. I was in the hostel. I stayed in the hostel for like 2.5 years, because I left hostel when I was in third year, joining third year, you see. So I
Mhm.
was full-time comrade, going to mess and doing everything. I became even a student leader when I was in second year.
Okay.
I was one of the congress person in Kenyatta University, managing the student. How university is. I know how people mess, how people from humble background go and sleep in the university, and they start enjoying the freedom, not knowing that they were brought there for a purpose. I know how people join other negative things in the university, and they start doing joining thugs, stealing, conning ladies, going joining drugs, doing necessary illicit thing, illicit behaviors. I know how people behave in the university, because I even attended the senate when some people had problems with the administration. So I know how life is in the campus. I studied it very well. After struggling for long, I know what somebody should do to survive all through to graduate in the stipulated 4 years time. Most people like deferring, and they like calling off their semester to stay in a course of 4 years. Somebody stay here for 8 years or 7 years, which should not be the case. Yes, I
Okay.
interacted with the student very well. I managed them. I supported them very well, and that was me. I know everything happening in. I think all campus cut across, people behave the same.
Okay, okay. Thank you for answering that. Now, Matthew, you graduated from Kenyatta University with a
Yes,
bachelor's degree.
yes.
Is this the goal for you? Or was it the goal for you?
No, 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 no. I am looking forward to pursue my masters and PhD as soon as possible. If I get a donor for masters, I'll even start next week to register for masters class. So
Okay.
I'll continue learning until the peak, until the peak. I'll continue doing my studies because I have the brain, I'm alive, I have the potential. The only thing, the problem is financial constraint. If I had somebody or an organization supporting me to join masters next week, or even when I will apply for masters and I start doing my masters, and later on I start doing my PhD,
Okay.
this is not right.
And what would you tell someone who is currently undergoing the struggles that you went through, the struggles of poverty, the struggles of no one is supporting you, the struggles of when do I know when to stop? What could you tell someone like that?
No condition is permanent in life. No condition is permanent in life. And life is what you make it. If you are down today, tomorrow you will be up, provided you trust the process and initiate a process. What God's want is doing something. I can't sit
Okay.
there that I don't have food and I am not doing anything towards getting my daily bread. You see, I will not get. I
Yeah.
can't sit down waiting for some manners from heaven. No, I have to initiate something. I had the brain. I had to repeat to get a scholarship to the university. I had everything, what it takes to do it. So in life, never shall you despair. Initiate a project. When you fall, ukianguka, inuka. Usibaki hapo.
Tena.
Yeah, when you fall, rise up. Trust the process.
Okay.
Initiate the project, and you will be there. You shall realize your objective in life.
Thank you, Matthew. Matthew is currently a graduate from Kenyatta University, and you've listened to his story. It's a very touching one. It's a story of resilience, a story of hard work, and Matthew was a very, very bright student. Thank you so much for your time. I've been your host today. My name is Effie Otieno. Thank you, Matthew, for coming to the Alternative Voice. We hope to hear soon from you, and I'm wishing you all the best because you deserve it. Thank you so much. That's
Thank
it
you.
for today.
Those who wish to see me, you can see me in the Instagram, Aol Matthew, in the Twitter at Aol Matthew 2, in the LinkedIn, Aol Matthew, in the Facebook, Matthew Nyamlori. I can give out my number if you wish.
You can do that.
Oh, my number is 0721 816 523. Let me type 0721 816 523. You can reach me for anything, even advice. If you, in case you are pushed to the corner, you have been laid off your work, and you have some depression. I am a life coach and a counselor in nature. You can reach me for support.
Oh, that's nice. Kindly confirm if that's your number.
That's my number.
Yes, that is the number you can use to reach Matthew for cancellation, for guidance, if you want to listen to his story again, he can narrate it to you.
Even if you want to support me to do my masters, that is my number. You can reach me.
Kindly do so. Thank you so much, Matthew. It's been a pleasure hosting you. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
Mtaani Quick Auto Spa. We welcome you to Mtaani Quick Auto Spa. We are mobile cleaning experts and we come to you. Our services include pressure wash, steam wash, snow foam and gentle hand wash, wheel and rim cleaning, tire shine, engine and body wash, vacuum, carpet cleaning and much more. We apply encapsulation method to attack all forms of dirt and debris, which guarantee you the best results. We are consistent on quality services at affordable prices. Book an appointment now. You can call, text, DM or WhatsApp 0710 587 285 and